Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is gonna be a little bit of a reminder as it is posted on the title. Just a little bit of a tip or a reminder if you're going to a concert, especially for a first timer. This is some of the details that we tend to forget, and I thought it would be quite helpful for you to be reminded at some point, especially if you are a first time goer to a concert. These are 7 things that I've listed out, but I did ask a couple of friends also who have been going to concerts for years, and they did add quite a lot of suggestions, especially if you're if you're familiar with the Philippines, and especially for Super Junior. I've posted it, and some of my friends from that group posted a lot of reminders. So I already made a list, and it's 7, but I might add a couple of them in a little bit. So for the first one that I did, I added on this list. First one is charge your batteries. This is very important, especially now we are in the technological age where we want to take videos and photo of every moment possible in within our life. That is the most important thing right now. We have to make sure that we have all of our mobile phones, digital cameras fully charged, and even our power banks to fully charge, so that especially if you're gonna be in the venue the whole day, like 8 a.m., you need to have full power, especially if you have a lot of things to do, like you have communications going on, taking a lot of memories, doing TikTok videos and stuff like that. Especially when the concert starts, you need a lot of power to video the whole thing out or take photos of it. So I really suggest, if you have a lot of gadgets, or like if you're gonna be using a lot of technical gadgets, charge them ahead of time so that whenever the day comes, you are fully prepared. You're not gonna have any problem with low battery, and that's really it. Next one, clean your SD cards. This is another thing. If you're using an Android device or using a digital camera, there is a tendency that we might experience corrupted files or we have low memory space. So, what I do, and I still do this, clear out your SD cards or back them up in a hard drive or into your computer for the meantime, especially if you have a lot of important documents that you want to free up your phone. Save them there, or if you could use your Google Cloud or iCloud, okay, that's okay as well. But I would suggest to back them up so that when you're taking photos or taking video footage of the day of the concert, you have at least enough memory to store everything. At the same time, you won't be having any problems with corrupted files or low memory. So, highly suggested that. Number 3, have a backup phone for texting and calling. This is another thing. Since we are used with gadgets that are like on camera and has data and stuff like that, we tend to forget this. Or in some cases, I did wrote here, excuse me. This is for the kids that have a deal with their parents that text me or call me, what's going on, where are you done, do we need to pick you up? I've been through that phase, so I understand the predicament, and having a backup phone really helps a lot so that you can text your parents or your guardian of what's going on, or to communicate with your friends if you can't get a hold of them on social, if you don't have a data connection. Always have a backup phone. You can use a regular old phone or your old smartphone from previous time, or wait a moment, I'm gonna look for that phone if I can find it. Whoops, sorry for the wardrobe that is currently going on in my background. Where is it? Okay, found it. So if you have this type of phone, this one is a Samsung. This is a touch. This is a multi-tap phone. If you have this kind of phone, you are gonna be okay for the rest of the day. This one has decent battery, by the way, so it's okay if you're using this for call and text. The most important thing is you have a communication line open, especially if your parents are texting or calling you, if you might need to get picked up or something. That's important. So another thing, register to to promos, only calls and texts, and data promos. This is a thing here in the Philippines. We call it load. If you're a prepaid user, usually you don't have a set program, unlike in plan users where they have a set plan where you have unlimited text, how many gigs of data you have. If you're a prepaid user, you tend to have like you have electronic money on your SIM card, or we call it load here in our country, and you register it to promos, calls and texts usually, and you get like 3 days only calls and texts, or you have 3 days of 5 gig data, stuff like that. That's what it usually goes here. But if you're a prepaid user like me, I usually do this day before the concert, like midnight, around 11 p.m. or midnight of the day of the concert itself. I would register to my data promo so that I am fully prepared for whatever mayhem may come. Like you need to reach a friend via messenger if you don't have their contact number, or you have transactions online that you need to have access to via data. That's another. Calls and texts. You call a lot of people, text a lot of people, since you don't want to use your data too much. If you're saving your data, your internet data, that's another thing. So register day before the concert. Highly recommend. Next is pack everything before the day itself. This is a common thing when you're traveling. Pack everything before the day itself, like your wipes, especially now in the pandemic, your wipes, your alcohol or sanitizer, tissues, face masks, in case if your face mask breaks within the day, at least you have a backup with you. That's also very important. Money is also another important thing, especially if you go through the line where people are selling merchandise, or you have to pick up a merchandise on that day, and you opted not to do like bank transfer or Venmo, Gcash. We call it here Gcash. The Venmo in the US is Gcash, something like that, or PayPal. If you don't have those if you don't want to do that type of payment and you just want to do it in person, at least have extra money with you, and also for transpo allowance, for food, and in case you get segued or distracted by a mall. You're in Mall of Asia, basically, or in Araneta, so you get distracted by Mall of Asia or Gateway. At least you have extra money and you don't regret purchasing it, or you don't regret not buying it on the day itself, so extra money is very important. And number 6, sleepwear before the day of the concert. This is true. If you are not fully well rested before the day of the concert, that's where exhaustion lies in. You tend to be sleepy and cranky. At the same time, you're not that fully energized when you're doing the concert, like your typical Energizer Bunny style. So I would really suggest for you to sleep, even though you're super excited for the concert. You should at least get adequate sleep. 6 to 8 hours would be enough, just to make sure you don't feel sluggish and you're more alert on the day of the concert, especially if you have fan projects. This is highly recommended. If you are the head admin of the fan projects, or you're one of the people who is in charge of distributing merchandise, it is important you have proper amounts of sleep. Number 7, eat a hearty breakfast. Like number 6, you need a good breakfast. Queuing lines can be a long, arduous process. At the same time, travel time, no matter if you're in a car or you're gonna commute, travel, it takes a lot of energy. So if you don't have enough energy and you didn't eat enough, it will affect your performance. Highly, it will affect your performance. So I highly suggest eat before you go, and make sure it's a very heavy breakfast, because it's gonna be a long day, especially if you are a first timer. You're very curious. Of course, you're gonna interact with a lot of people at the same time. You're gonna walk around the venue, you're gonna scour the venue, especially if it's your first time going to Mall of Asia or to Araneta or Gateway. You should at least have enough energy to go around the area, explore, and figure the whole place out on how it will work in your favor. Also, other people did suggest number 8, don't forget your oil liniment or your pads or salon pads. If you're that type of tita or the auntie, if you're at that age, don't forget your liniments. It will help you, especially if you're the type of person who has fainting spells. A little bottle of white flour would help you regain certain consciousness, because it happened to me before. I didn't have the white flour in my bag and I fainted on the grocery or the supermarket. I fainted. So there was a kind lady there that let me have her small bottle of white flour, and it was on my nose. Or if you have Vicks Vapor Rub, it's also okay as long as it's menthol and it's a liniment. And if you are suffering from back pains or whatever joint pains you have, if you have a salon pass, use it. Titas or aunties are now in this type of, and even uncles and titos, of course, are now in this stage in their life where this is their best friend. I highly recommend, if you have those, bring them with you. And another, stay hydrated. Always bring a water bottle with you. Even the collapsible ones are okay. If you have a hydro flask, it's also okay. As long as you're getting your liquids, always be hydrated, especially if you're in the tropics, um, where it's more hotter and more humid. Of course, you need to have your hydration. So if you have your water bottle with you, the better. I will bring mine, of course, or I will bring a water bottle with me that I can just pour water in the collapsible one, and have a portable water bottle with me. So it's always important to stay hydrated. If you can't get Gatorade or Pocari Sweat, always have water with you. Another thing, since we are in the pandemic, always bring your vaccination cards. That's a huge reminder. Always bring your vaccination cards and also your identification, like your driver's license, passport, voter's ID if you can, or if you have your national ID, it's also okay. Bring them with you because it's very important, because they will match it up with your vaccination card. Bring your booster cards as well. If you already have your booster, bring them with you. They will need to check it out to confirm that that you are vaccinated, and also you are boosted up. So yeah, those are the things that I remember, and I know I may have missed some of them. If you do have comments, or like if you have any more ideas that I missed out, you can put them in the comment section down below, to also remind your fellow fans, your fellow fangirls and fellow fanboys about what do you need to do. And also, if you want me to do more of these kinds of videos, comment it also in the comment section below. So that's about it for today's video. It's really just a quick video update, and also it just kind of got me into the moment anyway, so I thought you would have a fun one. Enjoy your concert, whatever you're gonna be attending this year and for the next couple of years. Just remember these reminders. It's a helpful one, even though they are the littlest detail. It is a helpful one. So that's about it. Have a happy concert, enjoy, and stay safe. Bye guys.